Hey everyone, David C. Anderson here, coming at you from SHOT Show 2025. We're here at the David section, the QSP section with David, the other one. Good to see you again, man. We got a few things to take a look at here real quick. Let's start with this eye-catching knife.
Yeah, so Beetle, this is going to be out now. So we have March and June is when we're going to be coming out with items. So this one's going to be out in March. So you see a lot of these ceramic coatings on kitchen knives, maybe like a Cuisinart. So that's going to be where that comes about, but you can even see it through the scale pattern on it. It is a single edge. Once it's your knife, you can do with it what you will, but it is buried deep enough where you could double edge it if you really, really want to. So that's going to be something that's a nice pattern for it. It's got a lot of people looking at it for the show.
It's called the Beetle?
Called the Beetle, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like the kind of wide patch this handle gives you to hold on to. It gives you a real solid grip. Even though it's a smaller knife, it feels powerful.
Yeah, it's going to be about $80 when you get it in KnifeCenter, and then tail clip for it. You don't have random screw holes or pockets.
Yep, where nice and clean.
Yeah, so right, left hand carry, whichever way you want to do it.
I like the pivot. Like that is a cool detail.
Yeah, definitely a different design for us. Trying it out, see how it goes. Logo lines up with the blade as far as the way it goes up. Yep.
Yeah, that like looks good. That pinches really nicely. Different colors. Now, if you don't like this sky blue, there are going to be other colors you could be had. I see a red, and of course black is going to be available. Yeah, because if you're going to do color, you got to do a black one too.
Yeah, it works out really well though. So definitely a little pop of color kind of draws you into it, and kind of lets you express yourself a little bit more.
Right. Next up, here's a big development, sort of a new update to the penguin series.
Yep, definitely. So as you know, we don't have very many penguins. They're kind of a rare species for us. But no, they're around.
You could fill this whole side over here with penguin variants.
But it keeps on coming out, so I'm really surprised with this one. It's really a nice way we did it. So it's an FRN handle, and then it has, if you have a Volt, it's going to have the same release for it. So that's where this is really, really nice. I think it's really comfortable to actuate. Just really well done on this one. So this is what I'm looking forward to. It's going to be about $50. We had the debate of 14C or D2. So you guys can chime in as well, but it's going to be, for most of the people, they're saying D2. So I don't know what you're saying for that 14C or D2.
I mean, both are still certainly valid. Both are great performers in the budget price range.
Definitely.
I know 14C can sometimes be a little bit more expensive, so if you're trying to get under that $50 point, that's a good choice.
Yeah, so right now, if it's 14C, it's going to be about $49. If it's D2, it'll be about $45. Okay. So that's where we're at with it.
The injection molding is nice too. It gives it a different character from the other penguins that are out there. It gives it a little more contouring and a little bit more lightness in the handle. Is this tapered a little more than the standard handle shape?
Not really tapered more, but it seems a little bit thinner than a standard handle for like the micartas. So it just really matches in with everything and kind of has a good continuity.
I mean, fantastic work knife, fantastic collectible knife in your brand too, because folks keep buying them because it's such a value and it's such a successful knife on the backs of that. You guys have got a ton of different options for folks to really go nuts over.
Oh, definitely. And then check out the exclusive side. So KnifeCenter still has their exclusives for the Penguin too. Yep. So you can pick that up and get a nice deal on it.
Those are really good. S35 VN at a really good price.
Yeah, so something you can't get in other dealers. So if you like the colorway and everything else, then pick that one up.
Appreciate that. Thank you. More crossbar lock stuff to take a look at here.
Yeah, so another new one for this one. So you don't see too many crossbar locks. I asked some other people about it. I remember there was a bench raid one years ago, but that was assisted. So I can't think of another knife that has a flipper tab with a crossbar lock.
There's a few out there, but not many.
They're not many. So just nothing comes to mind on it. But the Emu's going to come out about $70, 14C28. So you have a lot of different deployment methods. The only one you're missing is the front flip. So you're going to have this crossbar, you're going to have the thumb, middle, flipper. So just missing the front flip on it, but a lot of different deployment methods. Really handsome looking knife as well.
Yeah, it looks good. Like plenty of length there without being too big of a knife to carry easily. So you can really push this blade hard. Nice working blade shape.
Yeah, definitely.
Excellent.
Yep, so no one come out there. So those are going to be, so the only difference was there was March, June, and this one is also March. So there's going to be a mix up on this one, but both of these are Keanu's designs. So now for these next two coming up, this one's going to be a June release now for us called the Reptile. So that's going to be the crossbar lock again. We have aluminum or a G10 variation.
Yeah, just those kind of reptilian lines going on, so especially the green. This one really
and it tucks in there well. It has a nice setup for it.
tail-mounted pocket clip again, so you got complete ambidextrousness out of this, which is always good on a crossbar.
Yeah, so you're looking at about $80 in the consumer price when it gets to you guys, and when you can order it, and that's going to be that June timeline.
Looks good. Good slicing on that blade too. Look how thin that gets out towards the tip. That distal is really nice.
Yeah, it's a really nice new one for all your EDC tasks, opening all your boxes that you get in.
Heck yeah.
This one's also going to be a box cutting one. It's a full flat grind, really tall blade, processed meat with it or processed food with it. So it's called the Chef Master. This one's going to be out in March. So this one's kind of off-white, so it's not a really bright white. So a little different into it. Some other colors, of course, that will be available for the colorway. But this is also a Kiana design, so this one will be out in March. So we're still sticking to probably about 4 to 5 models per quarter is kind of the goal.
Sure.
Just to keep it kind of fresh, but not overwhelming.
Sure. Yeah, good length there, and I appreciate the size of this finger choil here is really good for me because I have slightly larger around fingers, and I can tuck in there pretty nicely. It's not pushing me too forward towards that edge, which is nice.
Yep. So gonna work well with everybody's hand on it.
14C steel on that.
14C on that one.
Very cool.
Yep.
That's it for the modern folders. We've got sort of your modern traditional slip joints here.
Yep, so the Hedgehog has been a really popular one for us. If you've handled one, if you like slip joints, it has a great walk and talk. Spring, open, mid-close is going to be flush. So that's really what you're looking for the modern guys or anybody getting into it. And then it's definitely going to be a modern slip joint, so it doesn't have the kick for it. So it's going to not have that spring deflection at the bottom. So if you're really, really looking for that, this isn't going to be for you. We'll have a closed stop pin, but it's a good pull for it. So anybody that's coming from the modern world, you might think it's a little stiffer, but I think just once you work with it, once you get used to it, it'll come out really well.
That's nice. And you're getting natural materials on some of these.
So there's going to be an ox bone, so blue ox bone on it. So really meets both worlds as far as heritage style knife with a modern one.
And so it's a new blade shape on this now, right?
Yeah, so that's going to be the spear point. So initially it was a Spanish tip, more like a straight razor. So that's going to be what it had first. And then there's the new blade shape. And it also has more of this actual metal bolster, because the other one was more of a full micarta or carbon fiber.
And 14C to steel on
14C on this one,
Hollow ground, full height hollow.
Yeah, so almost $90 on it is going to be the retail price, so when it's available, that'll be the price point.
Excellent. And one fixed blade or two fixed blades here.
We have one of them. We're just showing one in the sheath.
Sure.
But it's just a nice looking knife. So if you're going to process meat with it, it could still work with that. If you're going to use it for tactical, it could still be used for that. But it's just very comfortable, very striking. It's going to have the regular sheath for it. So you're going to have a really nice setup for it.
What was the name on this one?
This is going to be the Viper, sorry.
Viper,
Yeah, Viper. So just like the Canary, we're going to have the same type of sheath where you can adjust it in the field. No taking screws out and moving around, so you can move it over to where you want it. It'll stay there, so while you're moving around, it's not going to be moving to a different location. But you can do that on the fly.
Cool.
Yeah, and that's going to be a resin handle on that one.
Is that a Kieranite resin or?
No, I don't believe it is, but I know it is a resin handle.
It's got like that tortoise shell vibe going on almost. It's pretty nice. It feels vintage.
Yeah, so if you can either go with that one, it's a little bit smoother, but with the way it's shaped, I don't think it's going to have any issues with holding on to it.
Well, especially with this and this at the back too.
Yeah,
but you can get the grooves on the G10 if you want a little bit more.
Correct, a little bit more grip to it.
Good deal, man.
There's a lot of cool stuff. Now, there's some of the things out now, but pay attention to the website, pay attention to KnifeCenter, and then you'll see all the other ones coming out in March and also June.
June release on the fixed blade there?
Yeah, June on this one, yes.
All right, good deal. All right, that's all we've got for now. Keep an eye out, as he mentioned, at KnifeCenter. Thank you for that. Link in the description will take you to the QSP section of the website. Make sure to keep an eye on our social media channels as well, and check out all the rest of our SHOT Show coverage. David, thank you, as always.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Yep.